you think's going to end up leading this team in rushing this season?
Trey Sermon. Honestly, they didn't draft. So again, I'll take my little victory lap. Everybody says, hey, you're not drafting running backs. Kyle Shanahan doesn't draft running backs. Drafted 2. Told you guys, you have to address the position. Mostert's not under contract. Wilson's not under contract. I love them both, but they get injured. Now what happens if both of them get injured? Nobody knows what they're going to get from Jermichael Hasty. Nobody knows what Austin Walter is. Wayne Gallman's solid, but for me, I think he's the odd man out when it comes to what they did. If you noticed the skill sets, Trey Sermon profiles as more of a bell cow. Elijah Mitchell profiles like Raheem Mostert. Same deal. That's
true. Yes.
Same deal. Same guy, fast, everything. So this tells you what they think about their running back room going forward. Jeff Wilson's fine. They've gotten a ton from him. Raheem Mostert's amazing. Chip Kelly brought him in, and they did what they could with him, but they're not under contract next year, and it's time to replenish the running back room, and you do that cheaply with 2 young guys like that who fill the same sort of roles, 1 that you needed, and 2 that you've already been used to with Raheem Mostert, because Elijah Mitchell can slide right into that role within a year or 2. And, there's nothing – depth is wealth, and it doesn't matter, how much you can get from undrafted free agents. Sometimes you gotta make the move in the draft. And we talked about it. Clinton Portis got drafted. They drafted Joe Williams, so it's not like they just don't care about the position. So I'm just glad that Kyle Shanahan did what we thought he was going to do. Even if I wanted Javonte and Denver went up and traded for him, but I knew that they were going to address that position. They had to in the draft, no matter for the running backs don't matter crowd, no matter how much that makes you upset. They still had to do it. They had to. And they picked 2 great guys that fill roles that were 1 needed and 2 that they're used to using.
I think that this duo of Raheem Mostert and Trey Sermon might be the best 1-2 punch the Niners have had since I can remember, honestly. Since like Ricky Waters and William Floyd. Theoretically, it's a perfect complement. You got the fastest running back in the league and a guy who can become a bell cow. A guy who profiles as like a more upright Frank Gore.
Yep, that's what I saw too. That's what I saw too when I was watching him. It looked like a guy who he'll take the hit, but he'll stumble a little and keep going. Yeah. And that reminded me of Frank too. I'm not trying to say that he's going to play for 85 years like Frank. I'm just saying that like when I watch him run, he reminds me of the same way.
And Gore, I feel like made himself like 5'5" when he ran. He was so low to the ground, and that's like not Trey Sermon. But in the outside zone, you don't necessarily have to make yourself. That's the whole thing. You can have upright runners. You're running outside as much more anyway. But so I love the compliment. I think Mostert's going to start off as the starter because he's the vet, and for him to lose it, he's not going to lose it on performance. He always performs. It's just, is he going to get hurt?
That's what I think.
If he gets hurt, Trey Sermon will end up winning, leading the team in rushing. But you know what? Remember Office Space? I'm a Michael Bolton fan. I'm a Raheem Mostert fan. Right?
I celebrate the man's entire catalog.
I'm a Raheem Mostert fan. I'm saying he's going to stay healthy this year and lead the team in rushing. I think he's going to be top 10 in the league in rushing. This guy, if he could get 15 carries a game, 16, 17 games, he'll be up there. I'm gonna bet on him and say it's Mostert. But either way, this team could rush for 3,000 yards next year.
Easily, especially if Trey's the starter.